Hi guys, welcome to another cinema reviewed or the car review videos. A little different today, just because I'm not joined by my usually esteemed co-host DJ. Instead, I'm joined by the Unlimited Popcorn Bucket. Say hi, Popcorn Bucket. That's because I just went and saw Scream 6, and that's a horror movie, and DJ doesn't really care for horror movies much, which is perfectly fine. So I just decided and got the go-ahead to do a review with just me, so hopefully you guys don't hate me. Yeah, so Scream 6. There's stuff that's good about this film, and there's stuff that's bad about this film. Overall, I'd give it a 6.5, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bump it up to a 7. Just because, compared to the last film, I actually liked this one better than the last film. But I'm not going to lie, it's not a great film. That's part of the reason I'm like 6 to 7, like 6.5 to 7, is because as far as like Scream movies goes, I love Scream movies. I really like the franchise. I think it's really great. I find it really interesting. The last few haven't been super great. I didn't really care for the last Scream movie, if I'm just being honest. The kind of tongue-in-cheek, it was just called Scream, but you know, Scream 5. I didn't really care for that one much. I went into this one thinking, you know, it's going to be the same cast. We're going to have some of the same tropes. We're going to have some of the same issues as the last one. But I'm not going to lie, the beginning of it's fairly boring. It's kind of slow at first. It picks up, and there's some interesting twists and stuff like that, as you would expect from a Scream franchise. So overall, I'll say, you know, 6.5. I'll just go ahead and be 6.5. Just because I'm between the 6 and the 7. There's some scenes that are really great. There's some scenes that are not so great. The pacing's all right in some places. The pacing's really bad in other places. The twist is good. The characters are interesting, even though they're from the most recent films. And you know, they kind of point at the fact that they're not going to use the legacy people as much as they usually do, but they don't abuse the legacy people. Sydney does not appear in the film. You know, that's a positive and a negative. She's been the main character of this franchise for so long that it kind of sucks that she's relegated to kind of a mention, not even a cameo. She's briefly mentioned. Really down, quick, easy. All right, spoilers, as DJ would have you guys know. From here on, I'm going to be talking mainly things that I really like about the film, the plot, and overall everything else. So if you actually want to go and see the movie, if you like Scream, you're going to enjoy this one. If you like horror movies, you're probably going to like this one. It's fairly slashy, and there's quite a bit of action like a normal Scream movie would have. So if you're going to watch it, you're going to watch it. But from here out, it's going to be spoilers. First and foremost, the beginning of the film is really cool. The issues that I had with pacing was after the beginning of the film. So the beginning of the film was really cool because they do the whole bit where somebody calls on the phone and then they turn out to be the killer, but they kind of lead you on that it's not actually the killer. He's going to get chased by the killer, and the girl ends up going down an alleyway because she's trying to find this guy, and then the guy points out, you're kind of an idiot. Like, he changes the voice, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of dumb. You decided you're the one that went down an alleyway looking for this random person you've never met. Right into my hands. You know, and he turns out that the killer kills her. And it's really stereotypical. It's a really interesting beginning scene. But then he reveals his face. That's the thing that was really cool. The Ghostface has never just revealed his face right after he kills the first person. So I was like, this could be interesting. This could be fun. We know who the killer is, but they don't. So we're going to kind of see, and we're going to have the tension of knowing who the killer is while the other group doesn't. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out because they've never done that before. And then he goes back to his apartment, and he gets a call from the guy he's supposedly co-conspirating with. So the other Ghostface, he gets a call from him, and the voice is being tested out and stuff like that. So when the call comes in, you're immediately like, this is the guy. This can't be the guy that he's conspiring with, because he's literally talking the entire plan out. So I was like, it'd be interesting if it was like the cops. Like, doing the whole thing and trying to get him to confess and things like that. But then he finds his co-conspirator's body in the fridge, and they're killed. You know, that was a pretty cool opening, but then things really just kind of drag. You know, they get brought in for questioning. There's a couple of scenes where I literally was just kind of losing interest because it was so slow. The pacing was really not there. The stakes were really slow to establish. And then it went into the typical Scream franchise thing where the core four get together with the new friends. The film nerd goes through and explains everything that's going to kind of go down in the film, so you kind of have expectations and stuff like that. But they're going to subvert your expectations while confirming your expectations. They're going to acknowledge that the trope is stupid, but then they're going to play the trope a little better. That's part of the reason I like the Scream films to begin with. So I was fine with the fact they were going with the core formula. And they do everything pretty much as the film person says, while making fun of the fact that they're doing the thing that the film person said was going to happen. Because it's Scream, it's a little bit kind of meta on how they do it. So there is a beheading in the film, but it's a mannequin. And they joke. It straight up points it out. Like somebody said, oh, there's going to be a beheading. And they're in the middle of this shrine, and the head gets chopped off a mannequin. It's like, oh, the beheading! So that's kind of the humor you're going to get from a Scream movie. And the shrine is put together by the father of the last killer for the last killer. Because the last killer loved the franchise so much, he made the shrine and decided that to honor his dead son and the franchise that he loved so much, he was going to kill the first killer's daughter in the shrine. It's really cool. It's a great atmosphere. I actually really like the fact that they had all the different artifacts and stuff like that, and the fact that it didn't lean into the Scream franchise, but the actual events and the actual killers and things like that. I actually like the fact that the Stab franchise, which is kind of the inside joke franchise of the Scream movies, isn't a key thing in this film. They make fun of the fact that it has been the trope for the last few killers and things like that. But this one, they're the actual killers in the actual event. So the things that are inspiring the movies, not the movies themselves. The fact there were 3 killers, and the fact that they established that none of the characters from the last film are safe and all of the new characters are suspect is really great. Gail Weathers is in it, and I'll be honest, at first I thought Gail may have done it because Dewey was the only person who actually loved her, and the only person that she probably ever really cared about was Dewey, and Dewey died in the last film. So if Gail Weathers suddenly became the killer, that's pretty cool. That would have been an interesting twist. And I thought that immediately. I was like, that would be such a cool twist. That'd be really cinematically pleasing and stuff like that. And then the killer comes after Gail. And I was like, what? Killer comes after Gail? And then the killer acknowledges. That would have been a really cool cinematic twist. You know, if you had been the killer, but you're not the killer, I'm the killer. I'm going to kill you because you're a legacy character kind of thing. And we can't have any more legacy characters around. And so I started leaning into the idea of maybe, oh my gosh, they're going to kill Gail, and then the next film, they're going to come after Sydney first. That's what I thought was going to happen, but in the end of the film, Gail's perfectly fine and things like that. All of the legacy characters coming back was really cool. The fact that they lived at the end, it was a little bit too happy of an ending for a Scream film, a horror film. But I'm a sucker for happy endings, so I actually really enjoyed the fact that all the characters are fine at the end. Yeah, I enjoyed the film. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer just because I could talk about Scream franchise forever. It was good. It was good. If you like the Scream movies, you're really going to like the Scream film. If you don't really like Scream, I recommend the original ones. Like the first 3 are pretty good. The 4th one's okay. And then the 5th one is my least favorite of the franchise. 6 does better than the 5th one. So yeah, guys. as always, typical YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Entertainment Rebooted. That you're going to be able to see when we're about to drop something, when we're going to be doing stuff. Like, we post whenever we're going to a movie theater, so if you guys want us to watch a movie, check out the Facebook page. Maybe we've already gone to the movie and we've filmed one of these, we just haven't released it yet. So yeah, so I'll leave you guys, and in the comments, tell me, do you like scary movies? And what is your favorite scary movie? I'll see you guys in the next video.